Lebanon Utility Service Board meeting. First thing I would like to indicate, we did have a working session meeting prior to this, of which no decisions were made, and it was properly noticed. And also an executive session prior to the working session. With that, I would ask that you stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I would ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would ask us to have a moment of silence for the passing of Jeremy Lamar, who was one of our board member, Dan Lamar's son, and also a Deputy Pickett. Thank you. With that, first thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our February 21st, 2018 meeting, listed as an action item.
I make a motion we
go ahead.
I make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Jim, seconded by Bill to approve the minutes. Any public comment on that? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is engagement agreement with principal, listed as an action item. Attorney Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board, as you are aware from our working session, Principal presented a proposal engagement letter, which you have in your board packets and before you this afternoon, to do an analysis of the pension, what's commonly referred to as the pension plans or retirement plans associated with employment with Lebanon Utilities. The engagement agreement has outlined what Principal is going to do in analyzing what to do with those plans and what modifications, if any, can or should be made. The engagement agreement sets out several dollar figures. One is a $19,000 base fee agreement. The next is $3,000 for add-on analysis and an $8,000 plan termination analysis. I think it prudent at this point for the board to approve the engagement agreement authorizing General Manager Mike Whitman to sign and authorizing a not to exceed amount of $25,000. And let me get there with the math. It would be $19,000 for the base agreement plus $3,000 for two additional scenario analysis for a total of $6,000 plus the $19,000 for $25,000 and a not to exceed amount. Again, if those, if the $3,000 or $3,000 or $6,000 is not used, that would not be paid to principal.
Any questions on that item? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we move to approve the engagement letter with principal for the purposes of analyzing the Lebanon Utilities pension plan and authorizing our plan signatures to sign with an amount of not to exceed $25,000 to be signed by Mike Whitman. Is that it? Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Neil to approve the engagement agreement with principal for a not to exceed of $25,000. Any public comment on that item? Not, I would, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Okay, resolution for water rate adjustments. You handling that, Jeff?
I am handling some element of it.
Okay.
And specific to the resolution itself, As the board is aware, we met in a working session, actually a couple of times, and staff has recommended a water rate adjustment. The purpose of Resolution 2018-01 is recommending that rate increase, that the City Council adopt an ordinance amending our previous rate ordinance as set out in the body of the resolution. So as to the specifics of the increase, I would defer to staff on that issue, but I could certainly walk through the resolution when the time comes.
Any questions for Jeff on the resolution? Or? So we're essentially approving this resolution and passing it on to the council for their consideration on a water rate adjustment.
Correct. This would be a suggested, the suggested increase, and asking the City Council to consider an ordinance that mirrors this resolution.
Okay.
So they would have to have an ordinance?
They would have a public hearing.
That's what I
They would
thought.
publish notice.
Okay.
They would have a public hearing, a first reading, and then a second reading before it would become, and then an effective date before it would become effective.
Okay.
So this is in essence asking them to engage in that process.
So we're moving this along to the city council.
We are moving along to the City Council, and it's my understanding we would have a initial introductory meeting with them and walk through what our analysis is, and then ask them to go through the ordinance process.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve and adopt Resolution 2018-01, recommending the City Council approve a water rate adjustment.
Second?
Motion made by Neil, seconded by Bill to approve the resolution for water rate adjustment.
And before, Mr. Chairman, before the board votes, if I may, it has been typically the procedure of this board to at least read a portion of this resolution before voting on it, if I may do so.
Sure.
A resolution recommending amending ordinance 1010, establishing a schedule of rates and charges collected by the City of Lebanon, Indiana, from the owners of property served by the waterworks of said city. The City of Lebanon, Indiana, and the Lebanon Utility Service Board has heretofore constructed and has in operation a waterworks system for the purpose of providing a sufficient supply of potable water at the proper pressure for the city in a safe and sanitary manner. And whereas an examination of the existing schedule of rates and charges heretofore fixed by ordinances of the city has revealed that the city is not collecting sufficient charges from users of the city's waterworks system to pay costs of construction and other expenses incurred by the city to provide for the treatment and distribution of potable water. And whereas it is deemed necessary to amend ordinance number 1010 and as amended. Now therefore it be resolved by the Lebanon Utility Service Board of the City of Lebanon, Indiana, the governing body of said municipal utility, it is recommended to the Common Council of the City of Lebanon that ordinance number 1010 and is amended as follows. And then it sets out the various rates and charges for the various users adopted of Lebanon Utility Service Board this 7th day of March 2018.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is wastewater Forcemain project approval, listed as an action item.
I believe that I am carrying I'm lifting this and carrying this item as well. Again, an item discussed in our working session. As the board is aware, Ken's Foods is in the process of their facility going active, and we need to establish a connection point for them to hook into the Lebanon utility sewer collection system. This request for quotes is to solicit invited quotes from a handful of contractors that handle this type of work in order to install that force main, which would be the connection point for Ken's. As we discussed, we may have other alternatives, but we would request the board's authorization to proceed with this this request for quotes for the Ken's Foods force main at staff's direction.
Any questions regarding that? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we move to authorize the request for quotes related to the installation of a 6-inch main at Edwards Drive near Ken's Foods.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Jim to approve the request for quotes on the force main needed for the Ken's Food project. Any comments from the audience? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is Plant Growth Management Agreement Renewal, listed as an action item, and Corby is going to present that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board. Our right-of-way management agreement and line clearing services with Plant Growth Management Systems has expired. I have provided to you a new agreement extending their services for 3 years to January 1st of 2021. All information remains the same with a $1.87 per hour increase for the field forestry manager. As we are very satisfied with our current relationship with our tree trimming crews, it is my recommendation the board accept this agreement with Plant Growth Management Systems.
I think you answered my question. I was going to ask if you're satisfied, and it sounds like you guys are, so.
Very satisfied.
Very good.
Board, as you are considering this item, I would ask that it is contingent upon a minor contract modification to page 2, paragraph 3, that I would like to work through with staff and Plant Growth Management, just modifying the language of that section to comply with all state and federal laws, period. And there's a little bit of language that I'd like to tweak in that section that did not get done in advance of the meeting.
Page 2.
Page 2, paragraph 3, sir. I would ask that if you saw fit to approve this, that it is contingent upon modification of that section to my
Section 3 on
Section
page
3,
Okay.
page 2, my and staff's approval.
Other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion on that.
Make a motion, we move to approve the right-of-way management for line clearing services agreement with Plant Growth Management for a 3-year term expiring January 1, 2021, authorizing General Manager Mike Whitman to sign the agreement with the modification of page 2, paragraph 3.
Second?
Motion made by Bill seconded by Neil to approve the Plant Growth Management Agreement with the stipulation that the language is changed in the contract. Any comment from the public? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, American Structure Point Amendment number 4. Corby?
Due to additional research, appraisal problem analysis, buying services, and relocation assignments related to the eminent domain parcels, American Structure Point is requesting an additional compensation with Amendment Number 4 to their engineering scope of services in the owner-engineer agreement dated June 4th, 2015. The fees for the additional services requested by Amendment Number 4 are as follows. Parcel number 5, relocating, $3,725. Parcel number 41, appraising, $600. and parcel number 41 buying $1,000. The total not to exceed for the additional right-of-way services is $5,325. It is my recommendation the board accept this amendment to the agreement with American Structure Point for an additional not to exceed amount of $5,325, increasing the agreement total to $194,425.
Questions for Corby on that?
I would move to approve Amendment 4 with American Structure Point for $5,325 for additional right-of-way services, increasing the total agreement amount to $194,425 with General Manager Whitman signing.
Second.
Motion made by Neal, seconded by Bill to approve the supplemental number 4 with American Structure Point. Any public comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is Anixter agreement renewal. Corby?
As our inventory service agreement with Anixter Incorporated, formerly known as HD Supply, will expire in April, we are bringing to you the first amendment intended to renew our agreement with Anixter through April 23rd of 2021. As we are very satisfied with our current relationship with Anixter, it is my recommendation the board accept the amendment for the additional 3 years.
Any questions or comments from board members? If not, I would entertain a motion on that.
I'd move to approve the First Amendment to the Inventory Services Agreement with Anixter dated April 23rd, 2015, changing the termination date to April 23rd, 2021, and authorize General Manager Whitman to sign this amendment.
Second?
Motion made by Jim, seconded by Neal to approve the Anixter agreement renewal. Any public comment on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corby. Next item is Enterprise Lift Station Pump Replacement, listed as an action item. Josh is going to present us with that, huh?
Good evening. Thanks for having me. As you know, that we're looking to make improvements to the Enterprise Lift Station that's located out on Enterprise Boulevard, just west of Purity Drive. This lift station was constructed in 1994. Pumps the bulk of the wastewater for the Lebanon Business Park comes to this lift station. The existing pumps are showing signs of wear due to their age and from ongoing growth in the business park. We've done some investigation on various options for replacing the 2 existing pumps and determined that it would be best to replace these pumps with larger chopper pumps. The benefits of the chopper pumps include better pumping efficiency and reduced time due to the clogs that we're receiving due to the waste coming from the business park. We've spoken with several utilities that use these pumps, and they are very pleased with the chopper pumps, the performance, the maintenance requirements that they are getting out of these pumps. While the cost of the chopper pump is slightly more than a non-chopper pump, we believe that the benefits outweigh the additional expense. We sent out quotes for this. We received 2 quotes back, one from Quality Repair Services at $23,542.20. BBC Pump and Equipment, their quote was $15,964.67. I'm recommending the board accept the BBC Pump and Equipment quote at $15,964.67 to furnish and install the 2 chopper pumps and upgrade the lift station panel at the Enterprise Lift Station for a project cost not to exceed $17,560. This amount includes 10% Lebanon utility contingency to cover out-of-scope items. This project was included in the 2018 budget, and the projected cost of the project are less than what we budgeted for.
Any questions?
Hey, Josh, I would assume we can expect at least the same, if not a longer lifespan on these new pumps. I mean, you never know, but I would guess that that's reasonable.
That's correct. Everybody that we've talked to, they come with a 18-month, I think, warranty with them. But we've talked to Whitestown. They have these chopper pumps that are out at the Amazon lift station that they have, and they've been in service now for, and he said, a little over a year, and they've not had any maintenance issues with them. And he was going through the same issues with the towels and the gloves and things that are being pushed down the wastewater system, clogging theirs, and so they are very pleased with it. We've talked to Plainfield as well. They have the same pumps that we're looking to purchase, and they are very pleased with theirs as well.
So they're a more aggressive pump?
Yes.
The one that BBC is supplying, is that a Vaughn chopper pump?
No, they are hydromatic pumps.
Hydromatic?
Yes.
Okay.
We reached out to, I want to say it's TS down in Vincennes, and they supply the Vaughn pumps, but when he found out that BBC was supplying a pump or quoting these pumps, he said that his pump was very comparable but was way more expensive than what the hydromatic pump was, and actually said that he would recommend utilizing BBC pump with the hydromatic as well. So.
Other questions or comments on that? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we move to accept BBC and Equipment's quote for $15,964.67 to furnish and install chopper pumps and upgrade the lift station panel at Enterprise Lift Station for a project cost not to exceed $17,560, authorizing General Manager Mike Whitman to sign documents related to the project.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Neil to approve the proposal from BBC Pump and Equipment for Enterprise Lift Station pump replacement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Sewer lining project contract award listed as an action item. Josh?
Yes, in an effort to maintain the integrity of our wastewater collection system, we have identified 3 sections of our sanitary sewers that are in need of rehabilitation. In your packet, you'll see that there was 3 areas that we have allocated to send out for quotes, or actually went out for bid. The base bid was the alley between North Meridian Street and North Lebanon Street, from Washington Street to Busby Street. Alternate bid number 1 was the alley between North Meridian Street and North Lebanon Street, from Washington to Busby Street. Alternate bid 2 is the alley on West South Street and Main Street to Drake to Patterson. The reason these sections of the sewers were chosen to be rehabilitated is that our wastewater collection crews have conducted inspections of these sewers and found to have multiple deficiencies in the line. The crew observed that the clay pipes had significant cracking, joint separation, calcium buildup, and deteriorating manhole structures. This rehabilitation work will help this wastewater utility to comply with our ongoing preventative maintenance program and comply with our IDEM permitting. A total of 6 bids were received and opened on Tuesday, the 20th of February. The Lebanon Utilities with Butler, Freeman, and Seifert reviewed the bids and agreed that Miller Pipeline is the lowest and responsive bidder to complete the lining project. This project was included in the 2018 budget. The project cost is less than the approved budget item. I am recommending that the board award the 2018 wastewater lining project, including the base bid, alternate bid 1 and 2, to Miller Pipeline for not to exceed $196,925.40. Lebanon Utilities would like to add a 10% contingency of $19,692.54 to cover out-of-scope items for a total project cost of approximately $216,617.94, and that the General Manager Mike Whitman be authorized to sign all pertinent project documents.
Okay. Looks like you got some pretty good bids there.
Hey, Josh, I don't want to bore the public with all the details, but given the cost, would you agree that these sewer lining projects really are effective and make a big difference in these old lines that are crumbling?
Yes, some research that I've done on myself and reaching out to others is lining a sewer line is about 25 times less expensive than going out and doing any emergency repairs per lineal foot. So when you go in and you line a sewer system, you get a better flow. You obviously maintenance on it, you get less infiltration on the lines, and it also improves the integrity of the piping. So the lifespan is greatly improved.
Thanks.
Other questions or comments? Could entertain a motion.
I move to approve the 2018 wastewater lining project, including the base bid, alternate bids 1 and 2 to Miller Pipeline for not to exceed amount of $196,925.40 for a total project cost of approximately $216,617.94, and that General Manager Whitman authorized to sign these project documents.
Second.
Motion made by Neil, seconded by Bill to approve awarding the sewer line project to Miller Pipeline. Any comments from the audience?
Is that the amount that we put in the budget for this year?
That wasn't, yes, it was included in the budget for this year.
Okay, ready for all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Next item on the agenda is approval of claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Neil to approve the claims. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any other business that come before the body? Board members, anybody have any comments? Okay. Being none, the next item is opportunity for public comment. Would anyone in the audience like to make any comments? Doesn't look like it. There being none. Our next board meeting is scheduled for March 21st at 5 p.m. And our thoughts and prayers are with Dan Lamar, our board member, and his family at this point in time. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Jim, seconded by Neil to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you and have a good evening.